Sources claim that Dujuan Whisper Ricketts has been added to the Reggae Boyz squad and will meet up with the team in Curacao. And if this is true, did Craig Butler influence Steve McClaren's decision after his online rant?
Jamaica have a lifeline! How about this?
Big up Gunnaz, I hear that. Don't know something that Gunnaz will say, but big up Gunnaz.
Hello and welcome back to the Gunnaz podcast. I'm your host, Dicanio, an Arsenal fan who covers everything Reggae Boyz and local football. If you enjoy the content that I do on this channel, please remember to hit that like button. It's a very free way to support the movement. And also, if you have not yet subscribed, it's another free way to support the movement. You just hit that subscribe button and you are able to join the Gunnaz community. Just a reminder that every single video I do on this channel must get to 200 likes. So just go ahead and smash that like button. So in this video, I will be talking about Dujuan Whisper Ricketts and his no unofficial addition to the national team. And I say unofficial because trusted sources or people who we know to have been trusted sources in the past have reported that he is set to be added to the national team roster to face Curacao and Bermuda and will meet up with the team in Curacao. However, the Jamaica Football Federation have not posted that on any of their social media platforms as yet. So if the news is true, it's a matter of time, but I'm not prepared to say that it is going to happen because I have not seen the Jamaica Football Federation confirm it as yet. No, if this is true, I want to discuss what it means in the grand scheme of things for all parties that are involved. So I'm going to start off with Oral Tracy, the Maverick, as he reported and claims that Steve McClaren always wanted Whisper, but Chelsea have held him and would only let him go after he played 90 minutes. Now, while he was saying that, it sounded a bit suspect to me. I understood where it was coming from, but it just didn't sound fully realistic. I'm not saying that it's not true. However, something about it doesn't make any sense to me because Craig Butler, who we all know to have been his manager, took to social media after Dujuan Ricketts was not selected for the national team, essentially saying that Whisper was robbed for not being selected as a young player. Now, why would Craig Butler, who is supposedly Dujuan Whisper Ricketts' manager, know what Chelsea is doing and know that Chelsea is the one who is at fault and Chelsea is the reason why he's not in the national team? Why then would Craig Butler go and say that he thinks Whisper was robbed for not being selected? It doesn't really add up, in my opinion. It's either Craig Butler is being a troublemaker or what the Maverick said isn't adding up at all. Now, I think Craig Butler seeing Seymour Reid in the team as 17, just turned 17-year-old, over Whisper made him an angry man, which is why he decided to voice his frustration. Now, as customary, Craig Butler took to Instagram and he had a few words to say, which I'm going to be reading for you. He made two posts. The first post said, Mona, 7 games, 48 goals, most goals scored in the entire Manning Cup first round. Competition's leading goal scorer, 16 goals in 7 games, averaging almost 3 goals per game. Only one player is not eligible to play again next year. 5 15-year-olds in the squad. All of that, and we are not out of first gear yet. With the exemption of CVM, a media blackout, no observer coverage, no gleaner, no TVJ, no bloggers. It's okay, our light cannot be dimmed. Here is why. And he went on to tag a whole lot of persons, including professional footballers, football clubs, coaches, players, etc. Now, he went on to say the best young talents and their developer cannot be hidden from the world, just too deep and too deep and too strong to keep going. Sean Skyler, Stavi K. Dev, Siri Fabio, Shinny Howard, Mighty Ans, Kiki Nikwan, Pogba, Jigsaw, Dam. They believe they believe in you and so many others. Coachable, technical, strong, powerful, fast, skilled. We keep going. He went on to tag Whisper. Then he said, for the record, let's make it very clear. Whisper is available and ready to play for his national team. He is still young and if ignored can easily refrain from national team call-ups in the future and choose not to play for Jamaica. This is a national treasure sideline, and we should not ignore him. And there could be long-term consequences when you put in others nowhere near his level or achievements. Chelsea is one of the biggest clubs in the world. Who gain sight and lose vision are often the bane of progress. Many young talents forget also that the guidance they received and mentorship they got them or that got them to this level when they surround themselves with less visionary, tactically aware and weak coaches, they also must expect their level to drop. How is the Caribbean Cup going lately for the Jamaican teams? Now, people, this is serious stuff. And this is why, in my opinion, I think this message from Craig Butler really shaped the decision of Steve McClaren to add Whisper into the national team setup. This is the supposed manager of one of Jamaica's brightest young talents coming out in the public domain and threatening his clients' withdrawal from the national team setup, literally saying that he can choose to not represent the country in the future. Now, that is a threat that cannot be taken lightly, people. And I think that makes way more sense than what Maverick said, especially in this specific case. If Craig Butler is going to come out and threaten that Whisper might not play for the national team in the future if he continues to be ignored, and then a few days later, he's being selected into the national team setup, that alone tells me all I need to know. Now, obviously, I can't confirm it, but we are all humans, and if we have common sense, we can put 2 and 2 together. Craig Butler's or Oral Tracy's claim that Steve McClaren always wanted to select him, and they were just waiting for him to play 90 minutes, does not align with his supposed manager, who clearly did not like the fact that he was not selected and clearly does not think it's Chelsea that's holding Whisper back and thinks that it's the Jamaica Football Federation. So that was the first thing that really caught my attention in that specific message, the threat to the Jamaica Football Federation that Whisper can withdraw from being called up to the national team setup if he continues to be ignored. No, he also went on to throw shots at others as well. Now, we obviously know that Denzel McKenzie, Michael Forbes, and co have jumped ship to Cavalier to play under Steve McClaren. And obviously, that is still getting under Craig Butler's skin because he fired shots at them, basically saying that when young talents forget where they're coming from and surround themselves with mentorship and less visionary, tactically aware, weak coaches, you must expect their level to drop. And obviously, he's showing shade at those players who jumped ship from Phoenix to Cavalier. And it was further amplified when he went on to say, look at the Caribbean Cup. How is it going lately for Jamaican teams? Now, there are only 2 Jamaican teams in the Caribbean Cup. One of them is performing exceptionally well, and the other has dropped out, which is Cavalier. Again, you put 2 and 2 together, it's very clear who Craig Butler is sending this message after, and it has to be Denzel McKenzie and Michael Forbes and anyone else who jumped ship from Phoenix to Cavalier. So this is a very powerful message from Craig Butler, and I think, I don't care what anyone wants to say, I think this message is the reason why Whisper was called up. We have to protect our young talents, and we don't want another Leon Bailey situation where we know that eventually he's going to play for Jamaica, but because of this rift between his manager and the Jamaica Football Federation, he got a whole lot of years chopped off and started his international career a bit later. We don't want that for Whisper. We want to see Whisper in the national team. And I think Jamaica Football Federation doesn't want that either. So seeing this message from Craig Butler, I think he might have called up Steve McClaren or had a conversation with Steve McClaren who then decided to add him to the roster. That is my opinion, folks. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section. I personally am glad that Whisper Richards is in the national team. Imagine a future front line of Kyle Dixon on the left, or Tyrese Campbell on the left, Stay more Reed up top and Whisper on the right. That is the type of future. Remember, these are very, very young players. 21, 17, 20, 19. Those players will be here in the 2040 World Cup, people. Right? So imagine having that young core here right now, able to soak up all of that information, international football, and gain that exposure from now. I'm happy that Whisper is in the national team. Imagine we're playing Bermuda on the 14th at the national stadium. We're winning by 3-0 with 10 minutes to go, right? And the coach decides to put on a Kyle Dixon on the left and put on a Whisper on the right. Do imagine how that stadium would rise up and would be in high spirits in that game. So I'm very happy that he's here, but the message that Craig Butler has sent is very, very clear, not only to the Jamaica Football Federation, but also to his players that jumped ship for Cavalier. Also, clearly classing Rudolph Speid as a weak, unaware tactical coach. There are a whole lot of shades thrown here in that message. He also had another message, clearing everything up after that one. He said, let's be clear, Dujuan Whisper Richards is fully fit, strong, available, playing and scoring goals, and is the best player on the pitch in each game for Chelsea. It seems history is about to repeat itself again. Excuses made why arguably our top young schoolboy football with the second biggest jump in football history is to a pro club is being ignored. Don't worry, this happened to Leon Bailey as well. It's okay. We don't beg to play for our country while we chase people who shun our country like an unwanted stepsister. We will work, rise, and we will get you right to the top. Like Phoenix, you are, and you know this. We hope that when we react like those they chase, that it was not Whisper who first said no, but he will be the last. So again, Craig Butler clearly voicing his frustration, voicing his concern, and clearly threatening that Whisper will pull away if he continues to be ignored. And he throws shade to some of those British-based players, especially Mason Greenwood, who plays in a similar position to Dujuan Whisper Richards, who has neglected the call-up, gotten called up, has his passport, no excuse to represent the national team, no, but yet still does not want to represent. He's saying Whisper is here, Whisper is ready, Whisper is our local, young, budding talent, and we need to have him in the national team. And if he does not get selected, and he continues to be selected over players like, quote-unquote, Seymour Reed, right, then Whisper will do what Mason Greenwood has done when he's big and the country has selected him. And again, people, that is what we are running from as Reggae Boyz fans, and I think that is what the Jamaica Football Federation are running from. Again, they know the quality that Whisper has, and they don't want to find themselves in another Leon Bailey position, and that is exactly what Craig Butler is insinuating that they will do. There are a whole lot of sides to this story. There are a whole lot of questions that are there to be asked. There are more people that I need to speak to really hear their side of the story. But this message is very, very clear from Craig Butler. Dujuan Whisper Richards, fit and firing, deserves to be in this national team setup, and he will die on that cross. Again, people, let me know what you thought on this matter is in the comment section. Do you agree with me on any of my points? Do you disagree with me on any of my points? Let me know. Thank you guys for watching. Remember to share this video. Not only like, not only subscribe, but this video in particular, if you've gotten this far, share the video to your friends, share the video in your WhatsApp group, and let's start this conversation. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace.
Jamaica have a lifeline. How about this?
Big up Gunnaz, I hear that. Don't know some of the Gunnaz myself, but big up Gunnaz.